Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IAS Academy. I am Surbhi Sardana and this is season 3 of our daily answer writing initiative. This initiative runs from Monday to Saturday at 9 p.m. Every day we pick up a topic from current affairs which is important from your mains examination perspective. That topic is discussed through a question. We bring out a mock question for your mains examination and we also discuss a model answer for it. Meanwhile, we also discuss some strategies, some ways of presentation so that you can get better score in your mains examination. This is basically an initiative to guide you completely for answer writing. The content of this video that you will see on the screens right now, and we have been discussing the content that has been discussed in the previous videos. It gets updated on our website on a daily basis. This is our website rajayasacademy.com. There are many sections which are useful for your exam. There is this mains answer writing section which is specifically allocated to Seize the Mains initiative. Check out this section, check out all the questions and answers that we have discussed. These are like full-fledged topics, very important for your civil services mains exam. They can be handy for your prelims preparation also because these provide a complete coverage of the topic. So yes, let's move on. There is another thing here. There is a comment section that appears under every answer, and this comment section, what you can do is click pictures of your answer and upload your answers in this comment section, and our team will evaluate your answers, give back their feedback entirely free of cost. So that's how this goes on. The topic for today is special Vostro accounts. Special Vostro accounts have been in news with regards to Russian banks opening up their Vostro accounts in India, getting into agreements with Indian banks. So yes, what are special Vostro accounts and how do they help? Basically, let's see what the question is and how will we approach answer writing with regards to the question that's upcoming. So yes, it's day 198 of Seize the Mains. We're closing down to 200 questions. What are special rupee Vostro accounts? How do they operate? What are the benefits of dealing in rupee in international trade with other countries? Answer in 250 words. See, to give you a brief overview, international trade takes place in hard currencies, mostly US dollars. So since that takes place in US dollars or other hard currencies, means your country needs to have a lot of foreign exchange reserves. And if you have foreign exchange reserves, let's say you have a lot of pool of dollars in your central bank, with your central bank or with your central government. So if the value of dollar fluctuates, that means the amount of foreign exchange that you have with you in your country, that also goes up or down. So there is no stability in that regard. So what happened was with respect to Russia-Ukraine war, sanctions were put on Russia. So yes, bank accounts were frozen, they were not allowed to deal, they were not allowed to export or import. So basically now what we are doing is, with the help of these Vostro accounts, we will be able to export and import or carry out trade with Russia in rupees, in like our national currency, Indian national rupee, and we do not have to trade with them in dollars. So yes, that is basically that has been ensured through settling up these special rupee Vostro accounts. So the first part of the question is, what are special rupee Vostro accounts or SRVA accounts agreement? What is this? How do they operate? What is the basic functioning? How do they operate? How the exchange happens? Whom do they benefit? So that will be addressed in like 50 words in the second part of the answer. What are the benefits of dealing in rupee in international trade with other countries? See, this is your analytical part of the answer. And the good news is, the recent Hindu editorial that discussed, the Hindu Explained section yesterday, they discussed about special rupee Vostro accounts. They actually in a way gave us the benefits of dealing in rupee when it comes to international trade. We were dealing in rupee with Iran also earlier. Iran used to take money from us in exchange of oil in terms of rupees. It was not asking us for dollars. So yes, this is not the first time that we are doing some international trade in terms of rupees only. It has happened before. This question has to be answered in 250 words. Let's start by writing an introduction. In our introduction, the first part of the answer, that is special rupee Vostro accounts, that would be taken. We'll define it. We'll talk about its significance or what are the features of SVRAs. So let's begin, and then we'll address the subsequent parts of the question. Do not forget to address all parts of the question. Do not skip on any parts. So yes, A special rupee Vostro account is an account that domestic banks hold for foreign banks in the former's domestic currency, that is in this case the rupee. So domestic banks use it to provide international banking services to their clients who have global banking needs. This is who are the clients who have global banking needs? Exporters and importers. Basically, people who want to carry out international trade with other countries, they are the clients of these banks here. It is an integral offshoot of corresponding banking that entails a bank or an intermediary to facilitate wire transfer, conduct business transactions, accept deposits and gather documents on behalf of the other bank which is located in some other country but has a bank account operating in your country as well. That is known as a Vostro account. So it helps domestic banks gain wider access to foreign financial markets, that is the benefit for banks as well, and serve international clients, basically people who are carrying out international trade from the other country or from your country as well, without having to be physically present abroad. So if Russia is settling their bank accounts here, some banks from Russia, they are establishing some bank accounts in Indian banks. Basically, what is it helping them with? They can deal with international clients, that is Indian clients, without having to be physically present on Indian soil. So that is a Vostro account. Now let's address a body paragraph 1, that how do they operate. So recently 20 Russian banks, this is some current affair information that we are adding in, like back in November there were 8 Russian banks which set up their Vostro bank accounts in India. Now there are 20 Russian banks including Rosbank, Tinkoff Bank, Centro Credit Bank and Credit Bank of Moscow. They have opened special rupee Vostro accounts SRVA with partner banks in India. So that is some information that has to be included in your answer, so that it appears like an updated answer. The SRVA is an additional arrangement to the existing system that uses freely convertible currencies and works as a complementary system. Basically, what we are trying to entail here is that there is your existing system that uses freely convertible currencies or hard currencies like the US dollar. So basically, it is a complementary system, or it is an additional arrangement to the already existing system. The idea is to get around Western sanctions against Russia by carrying on trade in rupees. So this line is important to mention here. In the case of trade with Russia, payments in rupee for the export and import of goods will go to these Vostro accounts. The owners and beneficiaries of this money will be the exporters and importers in both the countries. The banks will keep the record of the money transferred. So yes, the framework entails 3 important. How do these accounts operate? Basically, 3 important components are there. The first one is invoicing, the second is exchange rate, and the third is settlement. So basically, invoicing, what do you mean by invoicing? Invoicing entails that all exports and imports must be denominated and invoiced in Indian national rupee only, neither in the Russian currency nor in US dollar. So that is your invoicing. Second is your exchange rate. How do we decide that how valuable the rupee is? That is when you keep it at par with other countries, when you evaluate it with other countries. How do you do that? That is, you go this exchange rate that has to be market determined. It would be determined by the market. Then to conclude, the final settlement that also takes place in Indian national rupee only, does not take place in dollars. That let's say if you have 80 rupees or close to 100 rupees, then you do not convert it into dollars. Final settlement is also occurring in rupees only. So there are 3 parts: invoicing, exchange rate and settlement. Also, there is one important point to mention here, that all reporting of cross-border transactions are to be done in accordance with this Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. This is very important point to mention. Now, moving on to the next part, what are the benefits of dealing in rupee in international trade with other countries? So what are the benefits? First of all, if there are any sanctions imposed on some country, that can be avoided. Secondly, if you have some international crisis situation going on, so your rupee does not fluctuate according to that, because you're not dealing in foreign exchange reserves, so you can basically deal in rupee. You will not be impacted by any of the international conflicts or changes in the international markets that are happening. Thirdly, your foreign exchange, it gets saved. And let's look at the other points as well. So yes, what are the benefits of carrying out international trade in Indian national rupee only, INR? So first of all, there is this reduced demand of forex, foreign exchange. Now this year, the economic survey it brought up some data and some argument with regards to this topic itself, that the framework could largely reduce the net demand for foreign exchange. So your demand for foreign exchange will go down for the settlement of current account related trade flows. It will further arrest fall of rupee as demand for forex reduces. So yes, the second one is reduced vulnerability to external shocks, that is it will make the country less vulnerable to external shocks. The third one is it establishes rupee as an international currency slowly. For example, in dealing in trading with many of the countries, especially the countries you have good relations with, if you can directly use your own currency, then it establishes rupee as a stronger currency in the international markets also. So rupee as international currency, there is some data that is coming from a Bureau of International Settlements. They say triennial central bank survey of 2022. They say that US dollar, how many transactions around the world occur in US dollars? That is 88% of all the transactions or of all the trades. And what about for INR or Indian National Rupee? It is just 1.6%. So just write this data and say that we can move up from 1.6%, this 1.6% that has been mentioned there. So Indian exporters could get advanced payments in INR from overseas clients, and in the long term promote Indian National Rupee as an international currency once the rupee settlement mechanism gains traction, the survey argued. The fourth one is trade with sanctioned countries. Just now, right now, because Russia has a lot of international sanctions going on, but we are majorly dependent on Russia for our defense equipments. We are majorly dependent on Russia for oil as well, for many other natural resources, raw materials and industrial goods as well. So we cannot survive or survive comfortably without actually trading with Russia. So basically any country that gets sanctioned, for example, there was this case of Iran as well under CAATSA a few years back. So you can actually trade with these countries because payment issues with these countries, they ease down when you deal in your own currency rather than international or hard currencies. Then in the conclusion, just say, praise these Vostro accounts. It is a very technical question. The analytical part was also very short. So just say this mechanism will for sure promote growth of global trade with emphasis on exports from India, and serve to support the increasing interest of the global trading community in the rupee. Basically, this is a conclusion. We have summed up what we learned in our previous paragraphs, because again, there is no way forward here or no alternative suggestion here as of now. If you have an alternative suggestion, do write it down. In case you do not have anything to write in the conclusion, just briefly in 1 to 2 lines sum up what you have written in your body paragraphs, but never end your answers without a line or two of conclusion. So yes, that's your answer for the day. I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow at 9 PM of Seize the Mains. Visit our website rajayesacademy.com and look for question 198. This link for rajayesacademy.com, it is present in the description. Just click on it. You'll be directed there, and here on the website there is this mains answer writing section. Click on it and all the questions with their answers will appear here. So yes, keep working hard, all the best, and stay tuned to our channel.